mean?
See when you're 15, 16, you genuinely think you know everything about the world. I don't know why, I just didn't ever cry or anything like that, I just didn't. See, in my house, I can't have any of my doors shut. When it's all my doors are all wide open, and I don't know if that's part of being in the jail and being locked up. I think the education side of it as well for the jail. See, like I had a job. I get exams and everything in the jail. Do you know what I mean, for my beautician work? So see that side of it as well. I mean, if you want to really.
No, definitely. There's stuff there.
The stuff that help you. You know, what's the point? Is anything actually ever going to change?
So, welcome to Social Sessions. Today we're joined with Deborah Cameron. How you doing, Deborah?
I'm fine. How are you?
Great. And it's absolutely brilliant to have you on. So I'll just kind of take you back to like when you were growing up and stuff, because obviously I know you grew up kind of in Cumbernauld, but before that, were you somewhere else?
I was born and bred. I was in Govan.
Right.
And then I moved from Govan to South Nits Hill.
Right.
And then
what was that like?
Cumbernauld.
Because obviously there was a bit of difference if you Cumbernauld.
Completely, honestly, like really different. Really different.
In a better way or like worse? Like was
Cumbernauld was so quiet compared to I felt like an outcast.
Did you? As if you were different?
I've always been different. I like being different. I like that.
No, definitely. So see, like when you moved, obviously, because what age when you moved to Cumbernauld? You were quite young, weren't you?
Just turning 12. No, 13. About 12, 13. Just going into first year, kind of.
And what
primary.
See, like when you were going through like your childhood, did you have anything like trauma that was?
My mum will probably kill me for talking about it, but it's my story. I had like my dad went and broke into put my door on with a hammer and slit my stepdad's throat because he was bringing us up. So I had abuse like that, but my mum tried to keep things like that away from me. Do you know what I mean? But I seen things that I shouldn't have seen when I was a wee girl. Do you know what I mean? I
think that, see, when like you've got any parent who's maybe like active in addiction or active in whatever, do you know what I mean? And then you've got the other parent that's trying to shield you.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? It's no like, but it definitely shapes you for when you grow up.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Because
your character.
100%
it does.
Have you ever went back and kind of done any work on that kind of stuff, or have you just kind of worked through yourself?
No, I just continued. No, I know. So that's not a good thing though, to do that, Sean. It's not.
No, but listen, your stories, it's resilience, because the way you're the new, and the place you're in the new, and you're at peace, and you've got like you're not taking drugs.
You're happy again, and I'm like, oh my God, cheerful, and I never thought I'd have that again ever. Do you know what I mean?
But it's amazing doing it without any support. I think that's what's phenomenal about it. It's quite an inspirational story, because most people rely on services or rely on some sort of kind of thing to kind of hang. You've done this yourself.
100%, the whole lot.
You should be so proud of yourself.
I know, give me a big pat.
Big pat on the back. So that obviously, right, so you've got some trauma, right, and then obviously moving into when you kind of moved up to Cumbernauld, and you obviously felt a wee bit kind of out of place. Was that through school and that we always kind of like in trouble, or were you kind of
I think now I kind of look back and I wasn't a bad kid.
No.
But compared to people from Cumbernauld, I was a bad kid, do you know what I mean?
So you're reflecting on obviously like the way you were and some of the things you've seen maybe in some of the ways in Govan and South Nits Hill, and then like compared to them, you're maybe no, but in Cumbernauld you're kind of. But obviously, I know that you kind of you were always kind of like looked older than you did, and you always had older boyfriends.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Do you think that kind of shaped, because obviously you're, if you're a young age, you're kind of going out with older guys and stuff, do you know what I mean? And maybe just like...
I know, because when I was like 14 and that, I was going out with 20-year-olds. Do you know what I mean? That's not a good thing either.
No, but listen, this is the thing that goes on, and it's, I'm no like justifying it. It's no great behaviour. It's terrible, but it did happen. Like I remember it being at school and like these things. Like there was 20-year-olds going out with 14-year-olds and stuff, and it wasn't really.
It wasn't really a bad. I was ready to say that. You took the words out of my mouth. I know. Like and now you're like, oh my God, but back then you were like, oh, I'm brilliant. I'm going out with like a 21-year-old. Do you know what I mean? And you're only like 14.
And I think that's where like that peer orientation thing comes in. It's not you're older, you start going, that's wrong.
I know.
But when you're young and you're learning,
you think everything's
so you're kind of learning, like you're peer orientating off the people that you're going about with, and if you're all doing the same thing,
of course,
then there's not what's wrong with it. If do you know what I'm talking about? Because you're all kicking about with older guys and maybe I don't know, getting free drink, whatever, like all the kind of stuff that goes along with that. Then you're not seeing it as a kid. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose that's where we need to educate kids.
Oh, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? And go, look, it's no right to be doing that.
Out with one of the guys like 3 times your age and that. Do you know what I mean?
No,
because I would die if my daughter.
Of course.
Even my son, I'd be like, oh my God, what are you all about?
No, I think times have changed, didn't they, massively. And I think for me, going to prison was a big thing. And we'll obviously go into that later, right? But going into prison and then that word beast and all that, like you end up like hyper focusing onto that, and it becomes like anything, like you just despise that whole world. Do you know what I mean? Like, but the jail ingrains that into you. Do you know what I mean? And I think before that, you probably still hate people, like, but there was like. I mean, you just look back at some of the things what I seen when I was a young boy, you know what I mean? And some of the things that went on, and you do think you know everything. You think you're like...
Oh, you do. You think... Do you know what I mean? See, when you're 15, 16, you genuinely think you know everything about the world. You know what I mean? You know nothing.
You're just a Wayne, man.
Of course you're,
you're just a Wayne. I don't... So how... I mean, this is a hard question for you, right, Deborah? But how do you think... How would you go about teaching the kids... How to navigate that? Like, how would you go into the school? Would you like have it in the schools like grassroots level? Like,
I think that'd be a good idea to teach kids like through school, because that's where they get everything with their friends and that, isn't it?
I know.
School, everything's like orientated around school.
And it's worse now with obviously the kind of introduction of social media.
God, social media is terrible. I mean, we were talking about that. I'm terrible on social media,
flicking into
constantly.
It's so addictive.
I think it's just like boredom as well.
No,
I get bored very easily.
No, you're right. I think boredom is definitely a big part. And so like, I'll take you kind of back, right? So you obviously kind of navigating that world in your 15, 16 and that. When did you start getting introduced to drugs?
I started getting introduced to drugs when I was 14. But 14, aye. But and it started off with Eckies and Speed.
Aye.
Going to our chaos.
Aye, everybody was doing it back then, wasn't they?
Started that's basically where it started with, and then taking jellies and all that to come down off it.
Aye. And I think see when you're carrying a bit of trauma, right? And then you're introduced to these things.
Of course, it blocks it all out.
And then
completely.
You start thinking that these are because obviously trauma is a massive, deep-rooted thing, but the drug taking is a symptom of that. If that makes sense, like it's like a stem.
Of course it is.
And you find that solution.
It feels it numbs like all your feelings.
Yeah.
God, I only started feeling again 2 years ago, like crying and stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm like,
crying at X Factor, that.
I'm like, oh my God, crying at like a wee lassie falling off a bike, and I'm like, oh, that's a pure shame. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, it's crazy, like, because you're just numb.
I know.
You're just...
No, it's my eyes. It's like, and it's trying to, I suppose, like, again, just thinking you know everything and
it is, you do. You think you know absolutely everything. 14, that's what I'm saying.
So when did you, because I know obviously he's kind of started, like, obviously, we all know Carbrain's got a kind of bad name, right, in Cumbernauld, but I mean, there's plenty of great people for Carbrain, do you know what I mean? But it's got that kind of name about it, and I know you started kind of kicking about up there. Was that when it?
That's when I started getting into heroin.
Aye, and started because that was when it was just really kind of hitting the streets at that time, wasn't it? And a lot of people didn't really know what it was.
It's not like crack now. It's
Aye.
like that
That's
was like
massive
heroin
now. Aye.
back when I
then,
was younger.
aye.
Do you know what I mean?
Because up in Cabrini, obviously, there was a lot of people taking it, wasn't there? There was
Majority. I mean, everybody hung about with done it. So it's like fly with them, you get shot with them, don't you?
I know. And I suppose, can you remember when it started becoming like problematic? Do you remember like the time?
You think you're all right, Sean, right? Because I've never been a jagger, so I don't understand.
Aye.
I've never jagged ever.
Aye.
But let's see, I forgot what I was talking about there.
No, just tell me.
Something about why did I go? I'm terrible for that.
When did it start becoming problematic? Like when?
All right, when I was rattling. I started rattling. You think you're all right taking it. You think you're all right, and then you start feeling shit.
So see how many days? Because it was heroin something I never ever took, Deborah. So see, like, just for obviously people watching, how many days could you take it? Because obviously I've seen it in the jail and that, right? Where guys would take it for a week and then they would rattle.
Or dying.
But some people could take it one that. Like I've only seen a few people, but some people used to be able to
take it just one time and then they're rattling at their head. I thought you were going to say rattling because I know people like that as well. Well, when I first started doing it was like 3-4 days. I could, and then I started feeling like shivers and feeling just disgusting. Do you know what I mean? So
I've come out, see, like tramadol and that. I've done I've done that. Like, so I imagine it'd be similar
tramadol's,
to that.
It's just kind of the same because it's got what's tramadol got in it?
Tramadol is an opioid.
That's what exactly. So it's the same kind of thing as that.
It's very similar. Do you know what I mean?
Very similar.
And I remember, like, when I came off him in Adderall, when I was like,
I was ill.
It's like 3 days of hell.
Oh my God.
The mental stuff comes after it, doesn't it? But so. When did the kind of trouble start? Like, when did you start getting into trouble and stuff?
Started about 18.
18? Mm-hmm. And what was it, just like...
Driving was disqualified, just constantly.
Typical car brainer.
Aye, constantly, honestly. I was bad. I was really, really bad for it. But see, back then you don't think you could run a kid over.
No.
Do you know what I mean? None of that comes into perspective for you. It just doesn't.
No. And I know people, like, obviously you'll know people yourself as well, but I know people that have actually, that's happened to. They've actually ran their kids and stuff, and they don't get over it.
Aye. I've done terrible things. I remember driving out my face in heroin.
Aye.
And I was sitting at a traffic light, right, and smashed into the back of a woman that was ready to give birth. Now, things like that sticks with you. Do you know what I mean? But twice I've done that with a pregnant woman. Twice.
I think it's the whole thing is the rawness of how addiction.
It's no until you're sober.
And you look back in it.
Start thinking about, look, that woman she could have lost her kid.
I know.
You know, it doesn't fathom.
It's the painkiller, the painkiller side of it that allows you to do these things and not really bother about it, if that makes sense at the time.
Of course, because it numbs you. Your feelings, like all you're thinking about is when you're going to get your next fix. That's just all it constantly goes round in your head. When we're going to get our next fix, when we're going to get my money from, we're going to have to go and shoplifting. Do you know what I mean? Constant. That's what's in your head. You're not caring about other people.
No.
You're not caring about other people's family, feeling. None of that phases you.
I know. And I think after a while, because you're in that and everybody starts thinking, I'm not even going to use the word, but everybody starts calling you certain things and whatever, and then you start playing that role, don't you? Just like,
course,
fuck everybody, well, nobody cares about me, so like, why should I care about society kind of thing? You know what I mean? That comes in. I mean, I definitely felt that when I was in prison. You get that way where everybody's like, you just think everybody's against you. You just think the world's against you. And you're like,
you feel sorry for yourself constantly. Totally. Do you know what I mean?
And then when you go into that victim mode, it's hard to come back away. And that's why I think people like yourself are so inspirational in the way that you're able to look at stuff objectively
Oh,
now.
of course,
And
compared to
look
the
at
way I
it
used to,
and
for
look
other
at it.
people's point of view.
Yeah. And so see, like, obviously moving on, like, obviously when you were like 18, when did you first start? When did you go to court? When was the first time? Can you remember? Like, when the first,
My very first sentence, I just missed the YOs.
did you?
Just missed. So I've been in and out of prison since 21 to, I'd say about 35, 36. 36, my last sentence. So all that amount of time I've been in the jail.
Out, like, I mean, obviously it's like doing a life. I've done
Oh
like 15
my,
years
aye.
back to back, but doing that life for it, you're doing a life for it.
Of course, you're
aren't you?
right,
Like, and it's just petty, as you say, is it we 8 months a year in different sentences. But can you remember, like, because we often speak about this when there's people, and obviously we're talking about this topic. Can you remember the first time you walked into the prison? Was it Cottonville?
Aye. Because that's where everybody goes to Cottonville when they first get sentenced. Everybody know how to get through, like.
Like the mission process.
Aye, that's it. I couldn't remember the word there. The mission. Everybody, and then you get into Ross. That's like people with mental health problems and that. You get in there for like a first night, and then they ship you basically. Like if you're remanded, you'll go to like younger. You can stay in Ross.
Aye.
But usually they used to move you to a place called Younger. But everyone's it's all closed down now. Aye, I've not been in since, I'm 43 now. I've not been in since I was 38, so it's completely different.
I think I do think the female one has got a wee bit better. Like, the smaller, I think they've got the smaller jails, aren't they? Like the wee kind of smaller kind of. I mean, I think they're still obviously as we were saying before, like you've still got for the more serious offences, you'll go to like the different bigger jails, Stockton, Pullman, and all that kind of stuff.
See, but you think that, but you, Sean, you can be next door to you, a life for a murderer. Do you know what I mean? That's just the way you know yourself. Do you know what I mean? I
know. I actually remember like one of the first times in Pullman I was in, and a wee guy came in, and he was like, just a wee guy. Like, hadn't been in jail before.
It's a shame your first time.
I know it is.
It's scary.
I always say that.
You don't know
like,
what
it's
to
terrifying, man.
You don't know what to
You
expect.
know what I mean? And it is.
It's a completely different world for like what you've been used to.
Did you get your bubble burst in the way you thought like you're about a ticket, and then when you walk in there,
oh God,
aye.
See, I've never been somebody that like.
Aye.
I see that I can't stand that.
Aye.
I cannot stand that. I've never been somebody like that, Sean. But when you go into the jail, you feel that size compared to, because it's a completely different world from what you're used to. You know what I mean?
Some of these people are you know yourself, that's their whole life has been that, and you're just fresh out the box right in. Do you know what I mean?
you see them, and like they're getting lived, and then they're back in like that's 2 days later, and I'm like, I can't. You can't fathom it how. But that's some people's lives, Sean. Their friends are in there. Do you know what I mean? And they've not got any family. It is sad. It's some people. It's just a shame.
I don't know if you go to at Christmas, but we used to get at Christmas. You'd get some of the old guys coming in just to get a Christmas dinner and get a roof aired.
I can't really remember, to be honest.
I don't know. Obviously, it might be different with the women's, but so. See, like, obviously going through, what was the jail like for you? Did that?
I thought the jail was just like a big lock-up for people that have been in trouble. That's just, I didn't...
Warehousing?
I'm so easily, like, adaptable.
Aye.
Doesn't matter where I'm at, I can adapt to that place. Do you know, I don't know why I'm like that, but I can adapt to it. So that's basically what I did. I didn't think the jail was...
that bad?
No, didn't that? I would just kept going in, and it was just like a big hole for bad girls that I've done something wrong. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I didn't. I was in the houses as well, but that's what I'm talking about, beasts.
Aye.
And they put me next door to a beast.
Aye.
And I tried to put her down the stairs, so I get put back into the jail again. Do you know what I mean? So it was just a vicious circle.
I know.
Aye.
So I take it the houses that would probably be like our equivalent to like Castle Huntley and that kind of stuff.
Exactly
like
the same. Just right outside the jail. You're just basically You're still in the jail, part of the jail, but you're outside.
Aye.
Just the same as it was for Castlecary.
I remember Pullman was like that. Pullman had the houses outside. I remember
I never
that,
ever
but
went to
obviously
Pullman. I was in Stockton, but I've never been to Pullman. I always skip Pullman.
Aye. Did you see, like, in the jail, like, obviously drug use is terrible, right? We know that. And I just missed the kind of new stuff, that Islam and Spice and all that. I did see it. Like, I seen the start of it.
Aye.
Like, but I know it's the estate's absolutely whitewashed right now. What was the drugs like?
That's what I was going to say. It was what's that wee white tablet called? Subutex. Aye. But I didn't like the feeling of them.
Aye.
Like I didn't get what people loved about them. Aye. I just didn't understand it. All they did to me was make me feel speedy. I just didn't like that kind of.
Aye.
You know, I liked like downer back then. Aye. I liked downers. Do you know what I mean?
I think I was always operating, and you probably don't see it, but you're operating on a kind of fight or flight.
Autopilot.
So when you take anxiety tablets,
100%. Because see, when I used to take them, that's what I was going to say. Instead of going up the way on Valium, instead of coming down the way, I went up the way. I was speedy, like no speedy. It wasn't the same feeling as the Subutex, but I loved.
You just felt as if you didn't need to wear that mask or something. Like because the jail. I mean, you've got the jail. I hated the jail, Deborah. I despised every minute of it. Like it really was. It was like. I adapted.
See, that's good.
That's
good that you can sit and admit that you absolutely hated it. Because a lot of people can't. It didn't faze me. At the end, see, when I was getting older, it did. I was like, oh, what am I actually doing?
I know.
What am I doing in my life? Do you know what I mean? Getting in and out of jail, and you're a woman with kids.
I know.
And it's just, but that's drugs, Sean.
Of course, it is. So, see, like, if I was to ask you. Like, what kind of percentage do you think in the jail? Because sometimes they come out with stats like 70% of the jail are taking drugs, 60%. And I always go, it's more than 90. Like,
100%. I'm the same as.
It's so much higher than what they say.
100%.
Was that the same in the women's establishment? Aye. And
but you didn't get as much.
Aye.
As the guys did. The guys used to get a lot more. Than women. The women did, do you know what I mean? So it was like they were all scrabbling for just a wee bit of heroin, do you know what I mean? Like,
just mental. I know. It's like a madhouse, isn't it? See when it starts. But I know the guys, I mean, some of the jails I was in, they were polluted at times.
What jails were you in?
Well, I started in Pullman, then went from Pullman to Shots, then went to Shots to Addiewell, then Addiewell to Berlin.
So you were right when you were running the circus.
But I spent most of my time in Addiewell.
Right. And you hated it?
I hated it, but I mean, I adapted to it.
Was it the guys or just the actual jail? You just hated the jail?
No, some of the, like, I made some really good pals in the jail, and like, I loved some of the boys in there, do you know what I mean? It was... just the environment, I hated it. I hated the environment. I hated the volatile.
Did you have a job in that?
I had. So I done the cooks, I done pass man, I done like all that kind of stuff. I worked out in the gardens and all that. I mean, I don't know. I just never ever.
Never adapted to it. Good. No.
And I was always well liked and all that. Like I had loads of pals but I hated it. Like, absolutely despised it, and it was like. Understood why some people go, like, understood why some people could come in and go, well, I was actually with a boy yesterday, I'm not going to name his name because he doesn't like his name, but he was a boy from Postal, and he was, I remember it being in Pullman with him, and as you say, right, he got out, he was like, I think he was like 18, 19, and he got
back
out.
in again.
And he came back in, but a couple of days later, and I went, what are you doing? And he was like, all my pals are in here.
That's what I'm talking about. And some people that's just the way you live.
And I was like, what do you mean?
See, when you're young at that age, but it's like...
they're no caring. See, I don't think...
It's the older you get, you start to care.
I just think, I don't know, it was just... I just couldn't ever. It was hell to me, man. Hell there. I don't know if it's just been away from my family or I don't know. I just but
You were only young, but you were 19, weren't you? You were only
19.
You were still a baby, really.
And you're doing 15 years. You're looking at it and going, fucking hell, I'm not going to make this. I mean, yeah, the first, I talk about it, man, the first night I went in and I was greeting, man.
Suicidal.
I just greet all night, man. And but you couldn't show it. You know what I mean? There was boys in there I knew and boys from Cumbernauld and you're that ego thing. And then the door's opening. I never slept a wink. The door opens and then you're got that mask on. All right, boys, how you doing and all that? And you're just great for like fucking 8 hours.
Aye, solid.
Do you know what I mean?
I know.
And I used to hear that a lot with guys. See, when you used to get through and you'd end up pally with some guys. A lot of the guys were the same. A lot of guys would tell you that I did that and all. Like,
I think that's good though that you can admit that. You know, I do, because I don't know why, I just didn't ever cry or anything like that. I just didn't. I think know why.
It's. Do you know, it could be related right back to trauma and all that. Do you know what I mean? Like as I say, is like see learning stuff at such an early age and learning stuff. That shapes you for such a young age, and you probably had a wee bit of a tougher upbringing than me. Do you know what I mean? In the way that things went. So I don't know if that was like part of the play where I was like,
maybe it was. Maybe you and me and Molly cuddled than I was.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean?
Maybe just a bit more. I don't know.
Maybe your parents were more.
Maybe a wee bit more stable or something. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, but
because my mum was 19 or something, she had me.
I remember your mum was a lovely woman. I remember your mum. I remember I used to see her because I was obviously I knew John and that, and sadly they passed away. But I mean, it's you've had a hard life.
Right.
You know, it's not as if you've.
But I still, there's a point in dwelling on it, isn't there?
Of course.
I don't see the point in that. I just don't.
You need. There's no growth in it.
No, definitely not. And people just think that way. That's boring to me. Because there's always something bigger. Definitely, I think. Want to sit there and self-pity and, oh no, I've no time for that. I think
you get bored. See, like you get bored of yourself. See, when you're sitting there in victim mode, and I think that's what happened to me. Yeah. I think I was like, so like I was in there for something I never done, and I was just like that way where I was like, I just couldn't come to terms with it. I was like constantly reading books, law books, and I was like engrossed in like how do I get this overturned kind of thing, like how do I, and then before you know it, your appeals.
I remember all the things on Facebook. Now I think it was maybe your mum.
My man, my family and all that.
Free Sean Toast. I used to see that everywhere on my Facebook, so I did.
No, I mean, there was a big campaign at the time, and the BBC were involved. Russell Finlay was involved at one point. Like, there was a lot of people looked at my case and said, "Look, this isn't good." Know what I mean? It's quite obvious that you never done.
How long was it you done again?
15.
Oh, for God's
15 rec.
My God.
So, but looking back on it, it's like, as I say, see when you start at your employment, you're just like, and then you do become just part of the furniture.
Oh, of
and
course,
that's like probably, you'll know that yourself. You just become part of the system. You become part of that thing. And listen, I've got bags of trauma for the prison. I've got millions of it. And I've still got loads of stuff I've not worked through. I've got hundreds of demons. Like, I still get night terrors and stuff like that. Aye. Like,
see with me as well, like, I can't see in my house, I can't have any of my doors shut.
Aye.
When it's all my doors are all wide open. And I don't know if that's part of being in the jail and being locked up. But even my toilet, I don't do the toilet with my bathroom door shut. Leave it wide open. Do you know what I mean?
It will be. I mean, I know guys. Again, I don't mention their names because they might not want to. But I know guys that have got rooms that look like Peter's.
Aye.
That are actually look like jail cells.
And
they need to go away in there for some days, like 3-4 days, to chill out. And I get it, right? I understand it because
Because you've been through it, like
I think the safe. I don't know how you felt, right? But I love the weekends, right? Because you used to get dubbed up early and you'd have your sweeties and all that or whatever. And even if you had a wee bit of,
that's what I was ready to say. If you had something, that was brilliant.
And then you'd sit and watch a box set. Like I loved it. Absolutely loved that weekend thing. But I think a part of that was because you probably felt safe and all. Like you were locked up, you were away for the madness, and you didn't need to put on the mask.
Were you tooed up or anything?
A couple of times. Don't get me wrong, I was tooed up with one of my best pals for a year and a half.
Oh no, I was never tooed up.
The two of us got in each other's that like you end up fucking like get right in each other's hair, know what I mean? Like, but at the start it's good. You're
at the start, but then you're like, I
was
want
still
to
talking about
you,
it, know what I mean? Like, I still walking about it. You're like, oh my God. I mean, but no, it's not, and we. Do you know, it'd be good to have you on one of the panel podcasts today, see with the boys. I would like to do that because I think that'd be interesting because it's something like
a girl's point of view
for the top. Because some of the topics talk about you date. I would never. I hate glamorising crime, right? And I hate glamorising jail because it certainly isn't. But there is times where you have good times. Do you know what I mean?
Course
and you
meet
meet some good people, and it's hard to describe it. Because it was
unless you went through it, I don't think that. Like, see, like some people have never been in the jail in their life, and then try to explain to them. Like, you can't explain to somebody that's never been through the same kind of circumstances as we've been in the jail.
Definitely.
You can't.
It's like you can't. How do you explain a weekend up to somebody?
I know exactly. Unless you've done it.
Because somebody would go.
It's not like the police station.
No,
people hang
you
get a weekender in the police station. It's like that's nothing like that.
And it's no. I remember. I don't know if you remember doing your court. You couldn't get back to the jail fast enough.
Oh, well, I used to be like, the minute I get hanged up at court, I'd be like, get my van ready.
They're a Lions fan, and that was the worst journey in my life. Because I used to just feel sick on them all the time. I used to then.
No wonder, because it's claustrophobic. You're like that, just sitting. I don't know what it's like for guys, but for women, I was a lot weird and. So I don't know how you guys done it. I don't know.
Because you stop and on, you just smash your head after that bad thing, man. You've got, and you're just like, what are you
used to smell BO not, and they're like, oh, what, you're going to court, get a wash.
Revolting, man. No, you can't explain it to people. And
no,
I think,
you can't, unless you went through it, you can't.
It's hard to. So, see, when you were in, did you meet some good pals in there? Like,
no, I can't say associates maybe. But was no, really.
No, any good pals?
No, really, no.
Nah.
I don't know if it's. I don't know. I just didn't. No.
But do you think that's maybe didn't? Or was it because there is like when we were in the guys' jails and that we used to hear the women's jails were worse in some ways. Like there was a lot of backstabbing.
100%. Everybody the lasses were bitchy, just bitchy. Like guys are just got on with it. Lassies are 40 face, do you know what I mean? Like they get into one cell and then, she's a fucking hangmate, and then sit with her. They kind of hangmates, but he's probably got that in the guys' jail as well.
What was it like for did you see a lot of bad violence to her? And did no one really? No in the jail? No. It's no different. It's different for the guys.
Completely different. Like you didn't hear people getting stabbed and slashed and that. Well, I never know when I was in
quite a lot.
Do you know what I mean?
So what was the things that was like and happening in
I think the education side of it as well for the jail. See, like I had a job. I get exams and everything in the jail. Do you know what I mean? For my beautician work. So see that side of it as well. I mean, if you want to really.
Yeah. No, definitely. There's stuff there.
The stuff that help you.
There is.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I always attack the jails right whenever I get a chance in the date, but it's a it's a massive subject, and it's not as easy as just
it's just piping it down to like one subject. It's you can't. No.
I mean, I would say I hate the slogan that transforming lives for the better. No, I hate all that.
I know, because it's a load of
they don't transform lives for the better. You need to.
Of course they don't.
the only people I seen changing in the jail, right, was the guys that maybe had a spiritual awakening, right, and went and turned to God for, or the guys who maybe just had enough. Like, maybe like the way you did, just had enough.
I just had enough. Aye, that was it. Aye.
But it was them that came to that conclusion. I never ever gave the jail. Some people, I've watched guys before and lasses and they give the jail credit, and I'm like, that isn't he? They never done that. Like, because when I was in the screws, used to call you Toll, come here. And they weren't there. They didn't ever come and say,
like, do you want me to help with education? Or, like, no, they didn't care that way. They were there to do a job and look you up, and that was it. Do you know what I mean?
And if you see it from their side, which I can look at now, and I can see they're conditioned enough, and you go, they must have had a hard job. Like, they hated. I mean, they get
been in the job for like 18, 20 years.
Do you know what I mean? Stuff flung on them, and do you know what I mean? They got a hard job. Do you know what I mean? So you can see why they probably hated a lot of the stuff. And then you would get the officers and the people, education and stuff, that did want to help. There was the people, and they were always,
the people used to come in as well. They were quite good as well.
The third sector people, like different. Can you remember any of the kind of ones that came in to help? Can you remember any of the, like, so was it Sacro or Phoenix or any?
Phoenix as well. Phoenix helped me quite a lot. It was them who got me, like, kind of clean. Do you know what I mean? So, well, in the jail, I've been clean that many times and
lapsed and then back.
Constantly. Do you know what I mean?
I know. What do you think causes that? Do you think it was like?
I don't.
Did you used to? Were you one of the people who could get clean in the jail, and then when you
clean
back
in the jail, and then I get clean in the jail when I was on Girls Behind Bars. I got clean in the jail then, right, and then get out. Was out for like 3-4 months, totally clean, and then right away back again. The Valium, the street Valium. Oh my God, yes.
I know they're the blue plague, aren't they, man? I mean, they're not even blue anymore, but they're
I know, they're luminous pink and everything now, do you know what I mean?
I know. So I'll kind of go to the Girls Behind Bars, right? I'll go to that kind of bit. How did that come about?
The guy was in speaking to people, and he was just asking certain girls if they'd like to do it. So I say, at first I was like, and I was like, why not? Because if I can help somebody,
definitely,
why not?
If you can, and it was an inspiring story because it left me thinking, I hope you're doing well. You know what I mean? It was like you when I watched it, and obviously it was different for me because I kind of knew you, but I was like still like going, I hope she's all right.
Yeah,
do you know that way? Like, and obviously it's one of the things you don't know, but and it's why. See if you were to, what do you think's the kind of biggest reason that people relapse and go back to jail? I know it's a big question,
I know,
right?
There's all different kind of reasons why people relapse.
Do you think there's a common denominator? Because I always say trauma is a common denominator. Most of the lasses.
That's how you get a lot of them all connect together.
Abuse in that.
100%. There was loads of women in the jail that had been raped.
I can imagine.
Serious assault, there was loads of women, loads.
No, I can imagine that it would be the vast majority of the population. You know what I mean? It's so sad because it's how, when you've been a victim all your life, for a young age, for a baby, basically, do you know what I mean? Like 2 and 3 year old and stuff. How do you get that? I mean, listen, there's amazing people that they change the world about. Listen, you're one of them. And myself, I can keep myself in that as well. I've done all right as well. I mean, I've still got a lot of things that I need to work through.
And you should work through it.
I've only been out 5 years, and you're 7 or 8 then, 7 or 8 years. When you think about it, it's a long time, but it's no, it flies in, doesn't it? It's like, before you know it, you're like, I was telling people, like, people would say to me, how long have you been out now? And I'd say 3 years.
And you're like,
Fiona that went,
no, you've not
5 years. And I was like, do you know that way you get a number in your head and it stays for a while or something? I don't know, it's weird.
That was like me, I know what you're talking about.
It's weird, it's hard to explain. So, see, when you done the Girls Behind Bars, who was it? Was it Channel 4, wasn't it? Was it
BBC One.
BBC One?
Mm-hmm.
And do you think they portrayed the story well? Or?
I don't think the guy that done it, he was brand new. He was really nice. Do you know what I mean? So I thought that he done a good job.
Because I must admit, it was probably one of the better jail ones I've watched. Because a lot of the ones I watch about the jail, I go like, that's not really the way it happens and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Whereas when I watched that, I didn't know about the women's kind of establishment, but I kind of watched it and it was, I could see the kind of the authentic kind of people that wanted to change and stuff. You can see it. You just know, like when people are,
you know, the ones that want to change, the ones that are just saying they want to change for that short period, and then they're back to square one again.
See, when you were in, did you ever experience any kind of like with the staff and all that? Was there anything bad like with the staff or anything with it? Because I can't.
What do you
mean?
mean?
Just weird way. Like there was a guy screws and all that. Was there?
Aye. Mm-hmm.
And what were they like with you?
No, they were. I thought they were.
Right?
Majority. They weren't. They were just there to do their job, as I was saying. They weren't. Aye.
So there was no like creepy ones or anything like that, like nothing like or a few, just a couple.
Aye, probably. Aye.
I mean, you're going to get it in everywhere, aren't you? You're going to get you get good and bad people, and it's good to hear that most of them were good.
Just
you know what I mean? And they do a job and hang you. But I'll ask you this question, right? See, not all your sentences and all your. Did the prison ever approach you and go, "Are you all right,
no,
Deborah?"
Never. And that was me if I was 21 to I was 38. Never, no.
Did they ever say to you, do you want to work on your trauma?
No. Never had anything like that for them.
These are the type of things that I like to expose and try to show, like...
that they don't do anything like that, no.
And it's no...
They don't deep dive into things, do you know what I mean?
They don't even look at it.
No.
I mean, they're no paid enough and they're not trained enough anyway, but... I just like to always highlight that, like that you're in there for such a long time and you don't even get.
And they don't even.
And listen,
saying that,
I'm going to say that. I know there is a couple.
With the call again, you're hang me.
POs.
Aye. See me would hang.
Aye.
I had one. He was brand new.
I'm the same.
Used to sit and. He was the soundest guy ever, do you know what I mean? Used to tell me about his family and all that, do you know what I mean? But there's ones that you had a PO and you didn't even know who your PO was. Do you know what I mean? Because they wouldn't even come and introduce themselves, do you know what I mean? Because it's a job to them.
I know.
So they're let off, well, if she doesn't know, there's no point in telling her.
You get ones that are genuinely interested in trying to make a difference, but the vast majority, I mean, they're not paid enough. They're just there to get a job.
Exactly. And then go home.
And you've got a lot of old school guys in there that have got that old school view of, well, if you've done the crime, you do the time and give them bread and water and all that kind of stuff. So you need to deal with that. You
don't know. Everybody's situations are all different. Yeah, Sean, you can't tag everybody after the same, paint everybody the same brush. You can't, because they're so different.
And I think
backgrounds.
That's the main thing in the jail, isn't it? Is like, how do you, I suppose, because we talk about it a lot, right? And you go, why would you send somebody to prison, right, for like, I don't know, 50, 60 grand a year, whatever it is, when you can offer them rehab, right? Or like a pathway to rehab for like 20 grand. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, I know.
Because
some people ask for the jail. I've asked for the jail before to try and get my head sorted out.
And I get that. I understand that, because when you're that rat...
that much a mess.
For the Streets, see, I don't know if you watched Francis for the Streets, but Francis was talking about that and saying...
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about that woman, a woman Francis there that passed away.
Oh, is it? I know. Francis that does the Streets on TikTok and that. But he goes about... I think he's McGovern, actually.
Oh, right. I have seen... I know who you're talking about.
But he was saying that. He was saying, like, often they would ask on the streets, like, you would be... He says a good chance you'd be out on bail. He says, like... all you done was break your bail and you were back in.
Right.
And the amount of people that used to go in to try and screw their nut. And I remember that. I remember people coming in and going,
to say,
I need to get off things and all that. And then I used to remember people going to the digger. I don't know if people used to do that, but they would need to go to the digger to get away from everybody because they wanted to get off things.
Aye.
And then they would come back up and they'd be like doing the digger for 2 weeks. They'd come back up and they'd be like fresh as anything. And then they would fall back. Because it's hard in that environment. No, I mean, to stay away from it, man. Like, it's
especially
in your face,
in that environment, aye.
You know what I mean? It's no easy to...
You could tell straight away whenever somebody came in and had a parcel. I mean, it was like flies and shit.
Aye, I know. And then you go out and you're like, somebody stuck us in and all that.
And you're like, oh my God. Because
everybody's in that Peter. It's not, I know. It's no, you look back, it's just, you do things, it's stupid, but...
No, when you don't think it's stupid at the time, but I know.
At the time it's very valid, isn't it? It's
definitely.
It makes sense at the time, but no, it's... I think, because obviously there was people in... I mean, we had like Julie up at Education and Addiewell, and there was a few other people, Louise, and... just there was quite a lot of people like that were actually in it
to try and help,
and change. You know what I mean? Support people, and so I mean, as much as I'll always attack the prison system because I don't believe that they do what they say they do, right? But there is good people in there that are trying to make a difference. Do you know what I mean?
Did people used to? Can you remember? I know I said jumping from one thing to another, but I'm terrible for that. Right? Can you remember people getting tattooed ink with the jail number on their neck? Oh my God! Barcodes. That just popped into my head there, and I was like, I need to say it because if I don't, I forget.
I don't think. See how innovative people are in prison. We like. How they make tattooed guns and stuff.
I know.
It's phenomenal.
I know. It is the ideas that I know.
And you're like,
how did you come up with something? I know.
Because
and then
some of them are really good at tattoos. Some of the tattoos I see guys getting in the jail are better than the ones
the ones that get. I know.
You know I know. And it was nuts, like how they done it. It was like the
pen ink. The pen ink. Like was it a needle?
Aye, that was,
but how did they manage to get
it? Was
it was pins.
It was pins or remember the guitar strings?
Aye.
You used to get the guitar strings.
That's right.
But some of the things, I mean, even like, and I know it's no, I hope people don't think we're trying to glamorise this here because I certainly know, but the way people
it's
come
things
up with,
it's just things that
with stashes.
I know.
Like, you just be like,
how did you? I know.
You know
how did you? I know. It's mad.
Like the way I remember, honestly, like I know that like with they hang the smokes and that, right, and they took everybody's lighters and all that after them and stuff, and they kind of let it just fade out. I don't know if you were in at that time, but they just kind of let it fade out.
No, I was in when it's the smoking ban came in. Aye, people still used to come in and try and rob everything with me roll-ups and that. You're like, oh wow, aye.
But at the end, do you remember like when they brought the vapes in? Do you remember how quickly people worked out how to
make crack pipes and that? I know.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Man. I mean, it was
just shows you though.
I'd say it was like a day and a half, and they had people were smoking like hash out and that, and I was like, I couldn't believe how quick people would work.
But it just shows you how some people are so articulate that way as well. It does.
Do you know what somebody says to me? I think it was yesterday actually. Boy Lee said, "Do you know what prisoners have got in abundance? Time to think."
Oh, I've got loads of that.
We were getting asked yesterday at Parliament, right, about like how do you stop drugs going in and that? And I said, I don't think you do. I mean, I don't think you can stop drugs going in. You need to work on the root problems of why the people want to take the drugs. The drugs are a symptom of...
They'll never stop that.
That's drugs not being going in. So you need to work out why people want to take the drugs inside the jail. That's where you win. And listen, they seem to take it on board.
I know, but then nothing gets done about it.
I know,
really does that.
This is the thing. So I hope something does change. Deborah, a day, and I've got a wee bit. I've got a wee tiny bit of hope. Do you know what will show? See CHMP Glasgow? Whatever way they open that up. If they open that up like a normal prison, And then you're kind of...
What do you mean? What do you mean?
So there's talk of them doing like rehab wings and
Right.
therapeutic wings and
You
yoga.
think that'll actually come into
Nah.
British? No.
Nah, I like to hope, but
Of course, but you can't. No, that's
it's, to me, it's
something
it's
2000.
society's not
2000.
ready for it. Society doesn't want it. And
Definitely. No, then they'll be thinking to themselves, why should prisoners get like an aromatherapy class and spiritual classes and that? Why they're in there to do a sentence because...
You know yourself, see in the prison, right? People's spirits are sucked at them.
Of course. Of course they are,
that's what people are lacking in spirit, right? So see people go in and showing them how to do maybe spiritual classes and yoga and different things.
That's the last thing that they're thinking and wanting to do.
So I think, do you think they don't want to build people's spirits up? Do you think they would rather have you kind of doing and...
because then they'll be out of a job as well. Nah, do you know what I mean?
Listen, that's another can of worms that I go down. I know sometimes and I go, do they want to fix it?
Exactly. Or is it just
a revolving door? That, because you go, like, how long have they had? Because I've had a few people that are kind of running for parliament and MSPs and councillors on recent, right? And we've been talking about like poverty and stuff, and me and Big Paul were talking about it just before we were hanging, and we were talking about the billionaires and stuff, and people were saying, we need them to invest and all that. And then we were like, well why are they not doing it already? Well, they're not doing it. They've got the chance to do it now, so why are they not doing it? What difference is it going to make if you bring zero tax?
And then they would think to themselves as well, what's something for us?
And
do you know what I mean?
I don't agree with a food company, right? Food company going and opening up a prison. Like Sodexo are a food company. And they've obviously invested into a jail, right? So now you're stuck with a private prison for 20 years that isn't fit for purpose. Doesn't want anybody to really know what's going on in it. And listen, I don't know if you can remember this, Deborah, but seeing 2005, 2006, somebody dying in the jail was a big thing.
Oh, aye, definitely.
Like, you didn't hear about that all the time.
No, now it's like...
Every week.
Aye.
Every week you hear and it's...
no, back then, nobody did die. The first kind of big thing that died was a girl, suicide fulfillment.
Young lassie, I heard that. It was a horrible story, wasn't it?
And their mum and all that had a big thing with, but nothing ever really came with that either. Sean, and it's just sad. Sad.
People fight tooth and nail, didn't they? And I think, see when you're
fighting a losing battle,
I don't think people understand how. See when you do these campaigns and you fight against the system, it's so draining.
No, of course.
Honestly,
of course
it's so fucking draining. It's like,
you're like, what's the point? Is anything actually ever going to change?
I know.
You're like,
I sometimes don't even know. I don't even know if they'll shut Berlin down. Even though I'm not HMP Glasgow, I'm not convinced that they will shut it down. I think they might leave it open as a remand centre or something. I don't know. I mean, I might be totally wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not convinced. Do you know what I mean? And I think...
What have they been talking about?
So the talk is that they're going to get rid of Berlin and they're going to... HMP Glasgow, I think, is...
Whereabouts is that getting built?
I think it's in... See where Rob Royston is? See where... So I think it's kind of where Black Hill, kind of Royston-y kind of area, I think. See where the big... Remember the big... gas thing.
I was ready. Aye. Two of them?
Aye.
Right.
I think roundabout there. I think. I might be wrong, but I think it's roundabout that area. I know it's the East End anyway.
Right.
But they're talking about doing that and then they'll do away with Berlin.
Right.
I can't see it, but we'll see.
I know.
It's one of these ones. I hope I'm wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Years down the line, probably they'll get rid of Berlin, but I can't see that now. God, how long's Berlin been open now? Since...
It's a Victorian jail. It's like 1900s. Maybe even late, maybe before that.
I remember watching documentaries about Berlin.
5-0 actually, 5-0's just done a... 5-0, if anybody wants to go and watch him, he's done a podcast series about the prison system.
Right.
And he's went through the whole kind of history of it, you know what I mean? It's interesting. Johnny Steele's another one that knows everything, so he was telling me about a prison that was an island like one of the first prisons in Scotland. It
Right.
was an island.
Right.
And he's got a video of it. He went away in a boat and all that. To this island. And the prisoners took it.
Right.
And they couldn't go on the island. But I don't know, I think they ran out of food and all that. I don't know. I think obviously, but they took control of this island for a while. And it's just mad thinking, going back, like, that obviously this has been going on for so long. And that's what makes me think what you said earlier. Why are they not changing it? Because I'll ask you this question, because that's everybody else and all that comes in that's been in the jail. Was there a lot of people for posh areas? Or was it mainly like people feel like working class kind of schemes and
no, it was schemes,
poverty
just
areas and that?
Poverty, majority was it, poverty.
Aye, and even your, whatever
The
you want to call
poorest
them, like your
thing,
gangsters and
which
that,
is-
they're still for that. They schemes
Aye,
and
of
all. They might
course.
have a bit of money in there now because of the life they live, but they
But they
still
did need-
come for there.
aye, of
You know what I mean?
course.
And they grew up in that impoverished
No,
stuff.
there was no, no, I can't say there was, like there was probably one or two out
And
of
that's-
every girl.
Is that like ones maybe that have driving?
That was
maybe
like,
knocked
the
somebody down and
lawyer.
all that?
Remember the
Aye,
lawyer?
I remember her. Aye,
Angela.
Aye, Angela. Aye. What was she like? Was she all right?
No, I didn't really speak to her.
Nah.
No.
So I'm going to ask you a question, right? And you don't need to go into it as much. You got it as much as you want, right? But we in prison when any of the trans ones come in.
But I remember, I can't remember what the
Aye, it was that
girl's
last
name.
of Edinburgh. but
Aye.
What
Can't
was the
remember her name, though.
what was the atmosphere like when that happened? Was it because
No,
the way I
don't-
would see it, right, and obviously you can correct me on
Uh-huh.
everything I say here, right? But the way I was always would have seen it would be like, see, because there's a lot of lasses in there that were abused by guys and stuff like that, and maybe a lot of things.
I don't think a lot of women even thought of them like that, though.
Right.
I mean, I can't remember her name, and that's bugging me. I can't remember her name. No,
I think that's amazing because I think
I used to. People used to the lassie used to come in,
Aye.
and I was a beautician,
Aye.
so I used to plug her beard
did
for
you?
her,
Aye.
so that her face was all nice and
Aye.
soft. See, each to their own. That's
But you
what
are
I think.
you're quite a lovable person, and like you don't really
I don't
have
judge,
any bad. No,
no.
you don't have anything bad really to say about MD. And I think, but was that the whole?
Oh, thanks, Sean, I'm loving.
Was that like the atmosphere through the whole prison, or was there?
No,
was there people's-
definitely no. Everybody kind of no. Majority of people were. It was
'Cause it's
dark.
a hot
a lot of them
topic,
were
isn't
all
it? Aye,
kind of dark. Do you know what I
Aye.
mean? Talks. Everybody, majority of them were all toxic. So
I know, and I think it's
got a lot of dark.
dark
in them.
energy into
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's,
100%. Aye. I didn't understand all that until I started doing my spiritual
Aye.
journey. I didn't, but now my
How
eyes
did
are
you,
open wide.
did you read? Did you start reading books and that spiritual stuff
I
in
start
there?
no,
Or?
no. I just when I came out, I get narcissistic abuse, all
Aye.
that. I didn't understand all that, Sean. And then I started reading up on that,
Aye,
like why they do it, and that's basically how I get into it. And it was
Aye.
like a wake up call. It was like night and day, you know.
Aye. So how did you see like when your last sentence? What was this? What do you think the straw was that broke the camel's back? What was it?
My kids.
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
Was it just like I need to get back?
I need to
see
get
them?
my 100%.
It's sad, and it's like I mean, how? I know again, it'll probably be a high, but how many people in there are kind of on that same boat, Deborah? That have
I mean,
not got
nearly
their kids.
every single girl, majority of girls
Mhm.
have all got kids,
Aye.
like 3 and 4 and 5 kids. Do you know what I mean? And locked up for some people
Must have killed
years.
people, eh?
Oh, especially women. I mean, men. I know they're still. I know we are still dads, but it's not the same. You didn't carry that baby for
Mm-hmm. No,
9
I
months.
get it.
Do you know what I mean? You didn't
Aye.
feel its wee heartbeat. So it's totally different for a woman than it is. But I've seen people putting drugs in the women's nappy to bring and I'm like,
know, I
how
know.
could you? I just see. I can't fathom things like that. I can't
know.
understand people who do that. But that's just.
It's a desperation, isn't
It
it?
is, of
It's-
course.
It goes to the desperation. And did you ever because obviously another kind of hot topic was the lassies who went in pregnant and had the weans while they were in jail, and some of them were cuffed to bed.
Oh, that's right. And
did you know any of the lassies are like any stories that you heard like that were? Because obviously that's quite horrific.
I haven't.
Having a baby and
because I was in the mother and baby unit because I was I pregnant when I can't remember. That's terrible. I can't remember. But I remember being in the mother and baby unit. And there was a lot of lassies telling me they were chained to the bed while giving birth, and see that's bad. How could you? That's just pure disgusting. How can you do that to a woman? I mean, what's she going to do? Get up and run away while she's trying to push a bloody 10-pound wean out?
Especially when you've got staff at the door and. I mean,
exactly.
A lot. I don't think it happens now, does it? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think it. Because a lot of people actually.
I think everybody
complained about it. I no wonder. Imagine being chained to a bed while you're. I mean, that's horrific.
No, I mean, like I've obviously experienced like woman giving birth and it's hard.
Of course.
Like, I don't even know. It'd been possible. How
of course, I know.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Very
discomfort of people
because I don't know. You probably when you did you do slopping out? Did you do that? The slopping out, like when you obviously in the morning, like you go out and sling a piss in and that. Like, or did you always have toilets?
No, we've pissed and shat in sinks as well.
Did you do that? No, did you slop it on?
Some of the lassies got some compensation.
Remember that? I remember everybody got the compensation. Yeah, I remember that.
I know some. That's the lassies that were locked up for days at a time. Do you know what I mean?
One of the I mean, I remember just thinking you were in the jail, right?
Rancid with the smell. My God.
It was horrifying, it was. But when you look, because you used to do, we talk about it, remember the bomb squad? Like, you used to get the shape bombs. that happened in I thought it was...
exercising, you're getting shit through it, and you're like, what's that all about?
So same, I didn't know that you done that as well. So, I mean, that was... You try and explain that to people or not.
I know, see, like things like that, you can't explain that unless, people that have went through it, they'll be sitting laughing because it's funny.
I remember, like, the old school guys sitting going like that, listen, we fucking... Because when I went in with tellies, right? They were just in, kind of, right?
Right.
But there was always tellies, and I remember, like, I hated
I know,
my
because remember they used to sit just with a book.
So we used to go in the order room and you used to get a telly took off you. I hated it. And I used to get float, like there was always a floater in the hanging and I used to always grab it. I was one of the ones that couldn't do a night with a telly. I hated it. But don't get me wrong, if you start to read a book or whatever, but see where it's slopping out, I can remember it like it's yesterday, like the smell.
That's what I mean. It's something that stays with you for the rest of your life. And people, if you say it doesn't, because it's stinking, it's pure stink. It's just pee.
The screws used to stand miles away, so it didn't.
I remember some screws used to come in and spray all the petals in that. It was disgusting.
So, you wonder, didn't you? Just go, what was happening in your life for you to be as bogging as that?
I know. That's what I mean. Like that's some people that's no bogging to some people though, and you're like, how can you not think that's bogging? Like, I don't understand that.
I could never understand some of the things like people used to shower for like weeks and stuff like that, and you were just like,
well, saying that, but when I was dying. Off of Valium, I didn't shower for.
No, I think that's different, but I think you can get when you've got different things, and obviously, right. So we'll go into that we'll move on to that topic, right? Because obviously that's quite. So, had you ever overdosed before the street Valium, or was that your first time? Like, was it?
No, I overdosed twice on street Valium, so I did, and was in a coma for one of them.
What kind of what kind of levels, amounts were you taking?
15, 16, 70 a day. Easy.
So going through tubs a week and stuff?
Oh, like it wasn't tubs, but it was like just buying £20 worth. Do you know what I mean? Like, because they were dead cheap. Because they weren't real.
No.
Do you know what I mean? If you go to the real ones, it was different.
They were a bit dearer.
No,
I remember when they first came out, and obviously like people were
terrible.
People were calling them tizzies or something. I remember I think that is the name they get called in the jail, but they were getting called tizzy and that. And then I think it's the first time I seen Spice, right? Honestly, it was about 2014. But it never really took off the first time it came in. A few people took it, and then it never really died out. It never really went anywhere. And then I remember I went to Adderall, I think 2018, I think. And it was
everywhere rife.
It was a different world, man. I felt...
Remember lassies used to spin about out their face on, know how what's this thing we called? The buffers.
Out
their nut, just
spaced
out their nut. Seed spice and that just wasn't a thing. I didn't like the buzz of that either. I didn't like it. No, did Sean? No.
No, it to me, I seen it destroying people, but people never really came back for it. See, like if
I know some people were actually in the loony bin because of it.
Like, I remember again, I don't name names on that, but I know a few great guys who were like probably I don't even know where they're now, but like they were where
were it?
Aye,
spaced out all that.
They were finished.
It's a shame. It's a shame that it did that.
Horrible drug, man.
Loon ball. I remember speaking to a lassie, and she was away with it. She didn't even know what planet she was on. She wasn't even on a planet. She was trying to some sort of Saturn or something. Oh my God! I remember things like that. It destroyed a lot of lassies. So it did.
It kind of. I don't like. So see when you had your overdoses, right? Was it just basically down to some were stronger than others, and you were just taking?
Aye, that's what it. Aye.
And obviously, so right, the first time.
See, that's what I mean. When you overdose, you think you learn the first time, but you don't.
You probably just come round,
Aye.
And then you don't really remember it.
The second time I was in a coma and that because and that time it woke me up, kinda. But it didn't really wake me up because a couple of months later, I says, "Oh, I'll never touch them again." Blah blah blah. Couple of months later, boom, back doing it again.
Aye.
So it just didn't.
How did you? Because it's amazing that you've done so well yourself.
I can't believe how good I've done as well.
What did you do? What happened? I mean, what can you pinpoint when you just went fuck this, or can you, like
last year, the year before, 2 years, I've not touched Valium.
Aye.
Crack as well. That was.
The crack's a big thing.
Crack. Oh my God! I don't know any. I mean, you see. Know what I just say? I hate when you see people and they lie to your face. They're pure born.
Aye.
They're lying to your face, and you know they're lying, and you're like, "Why are you lying?
Aye.
Just tell the truth. You're still using."
I know.
Just tell the truth.
I think it's shame into it. It's like that shame.
But you can tell a mile away, can't you, Sean? You just can.
I know. I guess when
we were talking about that.
Because you've been. You know, like you can't bullshit a bullshit.
No, you can't. Of course,
you've been in these positions and you've seen them all your life. Somebody will try and tell you,
and you're like, right, big whopper there.
40 yarder.
Aye.
But it's a shame, like just. But the drug trends have changed so much, haven't they? Like. When you were even maybe like 21 and it was like
100% into cracks, the big jellies and heroin was the thing.
Aye.
No.
And I don't think they really know how to deal with crack.
Because
I don't think they know how to deal with it. Because there's no replacement drug for it. If that makes sense, you can't put somebody on 30 mil of meth.
Because they're using crack.
Well, they are. They are actually putting people there's people going on methadone through crack. It's mad. Like, I mean, they're two different drugs. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But,
So why they
I don't know
put
why they're doing it, but
aye.
that is happening. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got, what do you think of Hunter Street, the safe consumption room? Do you know about that?
Oh, in Glasgow?
Aye.
Aye. I know.
I mean, let's be honest, right? See, if you were up in Cabrain, right, would you have got the bus into, are we in there?
No chance. I mean, come on, that. I mean, you think, I mean, I know, that's just, no, of course you're not. What,
if you're getting
just to be safer. It doesn't, no. You just go into a house, you just get a clothes.
Aye, you're
not going to go all the way, travel to go all the way just to be clean.
Aye, no, I mean, that doesn't make sense.
Just to have clean environment, no. And
because
people don't care about that.
I know, and when you're in the midst of addiction, you're no
the last thing you care about is sterilisation and all that when you're in the middle of something.
And you're trusting people your way and all that.
Of course,
and
they're poisoning you.
Wrongly, like, but you trust
aye,
people that
of course.
You know that
because you think that they're not going to do you rank. No, you think that you were pals.
I know.
Till you find out when you're actually sober.
Aye.
And doing well, but they were never
how did
really
you,
a pal.
How did you, because it is amazing, like, that you managed to do this yourself. But,
I can't believe it myself.
How did you do it? How did you do it? Because it's...
I just got a psychiatrist.
Aye.
And I had a worker.
And were they just really, really good with you?
Aye. Constantly, aye. Because I went through psychosis and everything, Sean. It was bad.
No,
like, see, coming off of the street. Oh my God.
Wild.
Honestly. The no planet I was on.
Spiders and all that, no? Because
was it talking about spiders? But
like,
I was tripping with my nut. Aye.
Crawling up me,
it was awful, man.
Yeah, I used
really
to sit
bad.
And used to try and have to tell people, like, you'd be sitting looking at them going,
there's nothing there,
there's nothing there, and they would be like,
but you just feel as if you feel the heebie-jeebies. Oh, so I don't understand what people are talking about spiders, because you look jumpy, like something's on me, and none's
there.
Like the touch of water, like a shower on your skin and that. Oh horrible. My God, you feel. I used to feel as if I could rip my skin off. It was awful, man. It was awful.
How
honestly.
long was that alone name? Because I've seen people like a month and all that. Like,
longer than that. Well, the amount I was taking, oh God, I was months and months.
So you're like, obviously, that big shout out and a help to like your psychiatrist that's put a bit of work in you and your worker. What organisation was your worker for? Can you remember?
Just North Lanarkshire.
Just like the
addiction recovery team. Aye.
So,
but if it wasn't for her, because I've been with her for.
And she's one of the ones that cares. Then I take it.
Aye, like 20 odd year.
Aye.
In and out, in and out, in and out. It's just it was like it's just a revolving. No, now, but it was a revolving door, and. Oh no, I just couldn't get back like that.
No, I'm so glad
Sean.
that you're with your new.
Oh,
Deborah,
so am I.
And I'm really proud of where you've got to. Because it's no many. We were talking about a wee bit about it and just saying how many people are dying.
I know. It's like
so sad.
Oh, it is. I know. I've lost so many people that I was close to. It's just honestly,
I mean, as we say, it's like when you're younger, it is a big thing. If you lost a pal to an overdose or you lost a pal to suicide or whatever, it was a big thing.
Now it's just like, there's another one.
Aye.
Do you know? I know.
It's horrible. It's like I genuinely like. I feel as if, like, especially the last couple, like maybe last year, you can't go to all the funerals.
No, I know, because there's that many of them. I know.
There's that many, and you've got stuff on, and you're like. Whereas before, you would like
it was like you'd make
there was a funeral
because
it was like maybe once. Now it's like genuinely. I mean, I knew there's probably another couple that's coming up soon that I probably could go to. I don't know. I probably won't be able to make it if it falls on certain days. Do you know what I mean? And it's sad because it's like, I don't know,
people that you've knew for a long, long time. I know. It is. It is sad.
I suppose it's. I mean, the drug death numbers this year is. I mean, they're going to be through the roof. Do you know what I mean? I think that's why. I mean, there was a reduction the other day. I think it was like 12%, or maybe even 2%. There was a small reduction anyway for last year, but that's 2024's numbers. 2025's numbers are like,
going to be like through. I know. I don't know what. I mean, what is it that what people are? Is it the crack? Is it just a cock? What's that?
Polydrug use. So
is it just like Valium and crack and drink? Because I know that all that together, oof, that's deadly.
Oh, so that like that.
Especially drinking Valium.
Polydrug use is just using 2 drugs or more at one time. But if you look at nearly every overdose, polydrug use is a feature in it. It's like very few will you get one drug that's killed them.
Aye. It's a
and if it is,
mixture
it's
of everything. Alcohol was absolutely, especially alcohol. That's what I'm saying. Alcohol and Valium. That's a lethal cop. Aye.
It's a disaster because you can't remember it.
No, definitely.
People turn out a bad. It brings out the worst in you. You know what I mean? It brings out the worst in you. So obviously, like, we're kind of coming up at the end of the podcast, right? And it's been brilliant, fascinating talking to you. Like, it's been good just to kind of bounce off and talk and find that common ground where you can actually see, like,
instead of talking to big politicians and that. No,
definitely. But I think very inspirational, Deborah. Very inspirational, and the fact that you done it through yourself and done it your own way. So what would you say for anybody that's maybe kind of like watching this and that maybe wants to make a change in their life? How would you say go about it?
You need to want to.
Yeah.
You need to, and a lot of people just don't. I mean, they want to, but it's everything that they need to go through. Because I'm telling you, Sean, I'm not going to lie, that past 2 years of my life, oh my God, like. I was in a bad way.
I know.
But I done it because of my kids. You know what I mean?
No, I think, and I hats off to you because, listen, as you say, I know there's a lot of people not making it now.
No, definitely not. So, there's a lot of people want to do it, but it's hard. It's very, very hard.
We were actually talking about it yesterday, and we were saying, see if you were to get people back going out the jail, right? And you gave them a lie detector, and you said, "Are you going to change? Are you going to no take drugs?"
Yeah,
they would pass it.
Yeah,
because they're telling the truth.
At that precise
point,
time,
they're telling the truth. They're genuinely going out to never, ever.
Because I remember being at that point. 100%. Yeah, you're back to square one again. Aye.
But at that moment in time, you're 100%. I will not go back.
I'm not going to do it. Promising that.
It's.
I think the older you get as well, Sean. The older you get, you start to think of your health.
Aye.
You start to think of your family. Well, I did, and I just sat and had a really good talk with myself.
Aye.
You know.
Listen, and obviously, like, I know you do a bit of spiritual work, and I think that helps. I think you need to build that spirit back up.
Definitely.
Because it gets, if you see spirit as a flame, it just gets dimmed.
Mine's is this size now.
Aye. Burning hot.
It used to be that size, you know what I mean?
But it dims, and then before you know it,
it's out.
You're out. And, so it's building that back up. But no, is there anything that I've not said that you would like to say? Is there anything like you would like to speak about that I've maybe not spoke about? Or
no, not really.
No.
So
right, as I always do, I just give you the last message, just like to anybody that's watching, just a wee message.
Just anybody that's watching, anybody like if that's what I'm saying, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth it. It's very hard. Not going to lie, it's hard, but if you want to do it,
go for it.
It's definitely worth it. Aye. Well, in my case, it isn't. It's definitely.
And I think
worth
in
it.
every case it is, Deborah.
And it's so hard to get from that side to that side, but yeah, it can be done. I mean, look at me. I can't believe.
No, and probably there would have been a point in your life that you'd have thought, I'll never change. You know what I mean? So
that's what I was saying to you earlier. That you look at photos back and you're like, And you actually think you look all right. You're like, oh my God. Do you know what I mean?
No, I
Would
know.
I actually look like that?
Think you're invincible, but
embarrassing. Untouchable,
I know.
100% you do.
But no, listen, and we'll try and sort out a panel podcast with a couple of the boys.
That'll be quite
and
funny.
we can get something going. But thank you very much for coming
No,
on.
no
It's been a
problem.
pleasure. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Right, thanks.
Cheers.
Right.